Fred Zweifel, and I'm the owner and inventor of Shoe-Tru, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this video. But this is a safety video, horseshoeing in the red zone, and I consider the red zone an area around any horse where this was good, this was perfect. See that horse jump over and I was in the red zone? That can happen, and this is why my number one thing about being safe in the red zone is staying focused all the time, because you never know. You got to be focused on your work. If you're not focused on the shoes that you're going to put on the horse, you're not going to do a good job. And if you're not focused on the horse, like this cat that just ran by, you have to be prepared at all times to take care of those situations. If you're not calm around your horse, if you're nervous, upset, mad, whatever it is, you got a calm horse, he's going to get nervous, mad, and upset. That energy will transfer right over to your horse. So if you're having a bad day, you want to maybe put it off for a day and come back another time. If you're leading your horse, you always want to keep a hand close to his head and your arm out here. Now, if that horse should jump in any direction, I have my arm, you know, to be uptight or anything like that. Be relaxed, but be ready. And if this horse should jump forward, I can lock my arm and he will push me out of the way. At least I get out of his way as he jumps from whatever. Maybe another cat comes running through. Doesn't matter what the situation was. You can keep yourself safe by just keeping that distance from him. If you're walking along with this horse with this big loop and you're holding this, he can jump on you, he can jump anywhere. It doesn't matter, and it's not safe. What we also want to do is be able to read our horse when we see him. When he comes in, when you first meet this horse, I never seen this horse before in my life. When he come walking in here, if his head was way high in the air, high-headed horse, that's not a good sign. That means there's some issues with this animal at this time that you want to be aware of. Is he switching his tail? A switching tail is a really good indicator of a horse that isn't comfortable. When he's tied up at the rail, is he pawing the ground? Is he looking around? This horse is looking around a little bit right now. He's not totally relaxed. He doesn't know me. See that? And those things can happen, and that's stuff you got to be aware of. So, and this is a good point to be aware of. We're going to talk about tying up your horse to the rail. Now, if this horse was tied up hard and fast, on a hard knot, and he can't get away from it, if something like this cat come running by, he is going to set back possibly, and when he sits back and hits the end of the rope, what's going to happen? He's going to come forward just as fast as he went back, and if you're standing there, you could get jumped on and hurt in some fashion. So what I do to keep yourself safe, now right here just for demonstrations, this panel, we've got a steel panel here. And now here's something about reading the horse. He just come over and rooted my elbow, something for me to pay attention to. He's looking at that cat over there. He's not quite sure what's going on. I'm going to get ready to shoe this horse. I'm not going to tie him up hard to this rail. And this is a floppy thing anyway, but we're going to use this as a demonstration. I went around, instead of tying my knot here right now, I'm just going to put a second loop over this rail. Now if this rail was wood, this rope, there'd be quite a bit of friction on it. And as the horse is standing there, he pulls back a little bit. There's friction right here. We faked him out. He thinks he's tied up, and he really isn't. The good thing about this is that if he sets back at any time, this rope will slide off the rail. He'll back up a little ways. You walk over, bring him back, do the same thing over again. If you're going to tie him up to a post, you might want to check that post to see if it's rotten underground. If he pulls the post over, you're going to remember that for a long time when he's tied hard and fast to the post. But if it's loose around the post, as I was just saying, a couple wraps like that, well, he can get away and nothing gets broken. You don't get hurt. We're just going to put this in about, if your horse is being a little bit nervous, what just happened? We got a steel roof above us. The snow just slid off, scared the horse that ran. Cat's running by. So I don't want to get under this horse right now and probably put a shoe on him, and he's a little bit nervous. You might just want to take him for a little walk. Keep my arm out there, have him relax a little bit. Let them calm down before you're going to do anything with them. Let them stop, talk to them, let them warm up to you a little bit. Things will be a lot better. Let me mention dogs. You'll want to take your dog horseshoeing with you. The dog's sitting in the truck nice and calm. Well, I tell you, every horse owner has 1 or 6 dogs. Your dog's sitting in the truck, those other dogs are going to find your dog, they'll smell them. All of a sudden, you're under this horse shoeing. There's a big ruckus right there at your truck door with the dogs, and it's a good way to get yourself hurt again. Another thing I do, if it's windy and I'm on that back foot, I'm down there with the foot down here, and the wind's blowing that tail across, and I'm trying to get a nail in there. The wind keeps blowing the tail in my way. I keep a little piece of Velcro strap, and I just go back there and I strap it around his tail, and it keeps most of that hair from blowing across the bottom of the foot, and I can get some nails in. Always carry some fly spray. You want to remember, if the horse isn't comfortable, you're not going to have a good time shoeing him, and use some fly spray. If he's trying to shiver flies off or swatting at a fly in his belly and you get kicked, it wasn't his fault. He was just trying to get rid of that fly, so keep that in mind. Another thing you want to carry with you is iodine and peroxide for the horse and yourself. There's going to be a time when you quick a horse or maybe parasol out a little bit too much, draw a little bit of blood, take that iodine peroxide and get it onto the spot. If it's a horse or a nail hole, put a little cotton in there, and you can close that hole up, keep the dirt out of it, and it's not a big deal. My shafts, if you notice, I've got a double layer of cowhide right here. This is the work table of your shafts, and you can see they're all scarred up. Well, I do that because you just got a nail. You got the foot there, and you're driving a nail down, the nail's sticking all the way out. You haven't wrung the nail off at this point, and he pulls his foot out between your legs, gets stuck in the leg with a nail, and as I said, you can use the peroxide and iodine for yourself at this point, and that's why I have these really tough. Plus, shafts are expensive. They'll last forever if you have that layer of leather on them. Folks, if we're here to shoe a horse we don't know anything about, the people just bought him at the sale, they haven't done anything with him, they want to get shoes on the horse, you don't know what it's been like. This horse has shoes on. Don't assume that it's an easy horse to shoe. If you're concerned about going back there with that back foot, keep this in your truck, just a little check stick. What we can do is just let him look at this, let him see it. Let him see it, let him take a look at it. Go slow. This could take an hour, it could take 2 seconds. Just let him know what you're doing. That doesn't bother him. Okay, come up here, touch him down his back. We want to slowly work our way down, see how he is. Now you can come down here, touch his hip. How's he there? Seems to be all right. Now this is where we got to go and pick his foot up here in a minute. Well, okay, he moved away, but not bad. He's moving away, but he's not kicking. He's not kicking at this thing. He's moving away a little bit. So eventually, I'm going to get down on that leg. He's okay with it. I can touch him on the inside. Touch him a little bit. Touch him here in the belly. Your back is going to be there in a second. You want him to be good about that. Remember, when you do this and you get his leg, hit this side of the horse used to it, there's a right and a left side of the horse. Anything you did on this side, you got to go over and do it all over on the other side, just to see what's going on over there. Turn him around. Boop, boop. And start here, start slow, because this is usually the scary side. People are always on the other side, but he's not used to this. Look at him, look at his eye, he's looking at this flag, he's looking at it, what's wrong? He's not used to stuff over here that much. There, that way. That's good. Okay. All right, pet him, let him know it's okay, it's not scary. Come down here, I'm going to turn him a little bit. Work your way down the other side of the horse. Come down, do the same thing. Get him comfortable with that. When you got to switch sides on a horse, you don't want to be going around the front of the horse or under the horse, but let him know where you're at. Always keep a hand on him. As you come around the back of the horse, you just come around here, he knows where I'm at. I can come around here, you're not scaring him. Always let him know where you're at. Keep a hand up there, it's all he needs to know. Now we're going to pick up a front foot. You get down here, there's that long hair down there in the bottom. I think they call it the ergot. We'll call it the long hair, but I want to pick up that foot. If I try to pick up the foot and he's got it really braced, there's an easy thing you can do. First of all, keep your hand on the horse. Slowly go down the leg so he knows where you're at. It prepares him for picking up his foot. He's feeling my hand. He's probably going to pick his foot up for me, I'm guessing. But we're going to go down here. We're going to go down to that long hair, and I'm going to pull on this hair. Now, I'm pretending he's really got his leg braced. I'm not pulling really hard. If his leg is braced, my elbow is right here in this part of his leg. As I pull up on this hair, my elbow is pushing his knee forward and a little bit of pressure there. It's a little bit stiff, but that helped. Put in your elbow into his knee, pushing the knee forward. There's the foot. And then you quickly want to get in there, do what you're doing. Look down at the horse's feet. You can't expect him to hold one foot in the air and be comfortable standing with his feet in all different positions. Before you pick up any foot, the horse has to be squared up. It's real easy to do, because I'm going to pick up this back foot. Front foot's got to come up a little bit. Come on. Oop, right there. Okay, that's a good spot right there. Front feet are together. I'm going to come back here, come down, and I'm going to lean against the horse a little bit. I'm going to keep my feet out this direction, so if he should kick at me, at least I'm a little bit further away. I'm going to run my hand down his leg, let him know where I'm at, and lift up the foot. The horse is already sort of preparing himself for me to pick up that foot, but once again, I'm keeping myself braced up here a little bit. See him lift his leg a little bit, come down, let him know what you're doing. He stepped a little, but you can still go ahead and pick that foot up. There. Once you're here, if he's a little bit nervous, you can pet him a little bit, let him know it's okay. If he's not having a good time with it, you can just slowly let that foot down, never drop it, and let him relax a little. We just finished this little exercise here. The horse has been a little bit nervous with me. He just went, and he took this big breath and let it out, and look at him now. Did you see him licking? He's licking his lips. He's much more relaxed at this point, what we're doing, and at this point, it just shows you how much more comfortable. Look at him, he's way more relaxed. It just took a few minutes for him to get used to what we're doing. Those little things like that are what you want to look for when you're reading your horse. Getting back to the back foot of the horse, when you want to line up your shoe, you really got to get way out there. I'm going to show you in a second, and about peek at that foot to see where it's at, to get your shoe lined up, to get a couple nails started. I mentioned earlier the Shoe-Tru toe clip. It's this little, I keep it right here in my shafts. It's got magnets on it. All I'm going to do, the shoe is shaped and ready to put on the horse. I put this on the shoe at the 12 o'clock position. This toe clip, once it's on, is a stop. It stops the shoe at the toe of the horse. So when I'm way out there trying to line up this shoe like you normally do, and feel and get this thing all lined up, and then start a nail, there's a lot of things going on at once. With this toe clip on there, I can pull that shoe up, and I know the alignment is there, and I can put a couple nails in. Okay, we're going to pick up the foot. Up.
Never fail.
We got Billy Clark here. He owns his stables here in Ennis, Montana. He's a very handy man to have around. He's multi-talented, as you can see what he's doing right now. He owns a wonderful horse facility here. All right, I got Billy Clark help me hold the horse here just for a second right now, but I'm going to pick this foot up quickly. As I was talking about before, using my elbow, got his foot. Now I can just pull this up, that stop on the shoe, stops it where I want, and I don't have to be down here peeking into the face of that horse's foot to get the shoe lined up. You can use it on all the feet. I'm going to let this horse's foot, this is for demonstrations. There. That's what we use to keep the shoe in a line with the toe of the horse. It's a great tool, just helps you get your job done quicker and with accuracy. Folks, that's about the end of this video. Thanks for watching it. You can go to shoetru.com, see another video on more applications using this magnetic toe clip. And with that, thanks again. Have a good day.